We're here today with Frank Canning, Lieutenant Frank Canning, Taylor Police Detective Bureau. Welcome to the show today.
Thanks.
It's great to have you here, Frank. Let's get into some simple things first. Give us your responsibilities.
Currently, I am the lieutenant in charge of the Detective Bureau, the police department, so I oversee all of the investigations. I have an office of detectives, and also under my area of responsibility are the outsourced employees, which currently we don't have that many. Hopefully we'll get more, but the school resource officer and the school affairs and the state police task force, we have an officer out of that. In addition to the daily duties, my collateral duties here include I'm an assistant team leader of the Downriver Crisis Negotiators team, which is the hostage negotiator, crisis negotiator, however language you're accustomed to hearing it, which is a Downriver Community Conference group. So wherever the crisis may be throughout the Downriver area, I'm on that team as well. Additionally, the last few years we have had a partnership with Beaumont Hospital and Families Against Narcotics to do the Comeback Quick Response Team, which is if we have information of someone that is in the grips of substance abuse, whether it be a recent overdose or a police report comes in of someone that's in possession, or family referrals of my loved one has got an issue, we'll go door to door and try to reach out to them and offer them some treatment opportunities to get a grip of their abuse, substance abuse.
So you got a lot of balls in here.
A little bit, yeah. It helps the weeks go by quick.
That's for sure. The clock moves. Tell us about your background. How'd you make it to the Taylor Police Department?
Second generation Taylor Police. My father worked here from 75 to 05. I have an uncle that also worked here. As a young boy growing up, a career decision was not complicated. I knew that I wanted to do this from a young age, so I started preparing early on. I graduated high school. I went to Cabrini, graduated in 1994. I went to community college to get an associate's degree, entered the police academy, pursued my degree post-academy through U of M Dearborn, where I have a bachelor's degree, and then from that I went to Tiffin University to pursue a master's in justice administration.
What made you want to remain with Taylor Police all these years?
As a little kid growing up, I felt like I was an employee at a young age. In fact, right behind you there's a picture of me next to my dad's police car at the time. So there wasn't one particular thing that drew me. Some guys came here for contracts, some guys came here because this was the first place it called. I knew as a young age this is the only place I wanted to be. Just based upon how police departments hire and the cycles of hiring. I had a couple stops before I got here, but I'm just shy of my 21 and a half years, and I've got many years ahead of me still.
Many changes in law enforcement over the years, especially in your spot. You're kind of in a sweet spot here when it comes to technology, equipment, all that stuff. What jumps out at you, Frank?
It's been amazing to see what the technologies can do to help aid in investigations. I'm still relatively young, but in the 24 years of police work that I've been in, things advanced rapidly. From my first job, I didn't have a computer in the car, and your handwriting reports to the transition to in-car computers, to report writing on a computer, to the database getting compounded and joined with other agencies and other regions, so you have access to more stuff. And then just at a local level, the things that Chief Blair has done to bring us kind of into the forefront of technology, with bringing the drones in, which have been a tremendous help. The flock safety cameras, which are a big thing that's up, the body-worn cameras, and even the residents that have their own security systems, whether it be the Ring doorbell cameras or what have you. We have had a lot of opportunities to solve crimes just based upon modern technologies that we would have been left with a whodunit just a matter of a few short years ago.
Yeah, it all fits together, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Career highlights for you?
Geez, there's been quite a few. Getting hired here was one. Just because you want to doesn't mean it's going to happen. With a relatively short period of time here, I was assigned to the schools. It was a great time. I did 2 stints working within our Taylor School District to about 8 years of service time overall. It was always great, kind of being the face of the department out in the schools and getting to know those groups of kids. And although it's been 2003 was the first year that I worked in a school, and you still stop into stores or restaurants in town, and there'll be kids that are now in their 30s that recognize you from you were the school cop back in the day. There's been some highlights in my time as an investigator, helping out with cases or being in charge of cases that led to criminal convictions and prison sentences for some bad people, and helping good people. I couldn't just name one. It's been, the whole career has been a blessing, and I just really the highlights are just being out and about within the community.
Sure. Aspirations.
If everything ended today, if I'm at the end of the road today, my career has been an absolute success, and I've achieved things here that I never would have envisioned happening. The first day that I walked into this office as the new Detective Bureau Lieutenant, I sat in the chair and looked out, thought, this is pretty strange to me. Retired Lieutenant Dan Crowell, Commander Crowell, was the Detective Bureau Lieutenant when I was a detective. I grew up, he was essentially, I got an uncle relationship with Dan. He was my dad's partner, then he became my boss. It was a whole dynamic with him. The first picture I sent out was a picture to Dan from this side out, said, look at my new office. I said, I was absolutely tickled that I never would have dreamed that I'd have been here. So I love this job. I like to keep doing it, but whatever Chief Blair has in store or wants me to do, I don't mind.
Fantastic. What, as we sum this up, what do you really love about Taylor, the community?
It's a great, my hometown, born and raised, the local kid, done good, I think. I've always liked its size. I've liked its diversity. If there's every cross section of people are in Taylor, retail, restaurants, development has come a long way in my lifetime here. It's always encouraging to see what's next on the horizon. There's, as far as the police department or our municipality work for, I think we're second to none, and there's not any other place that I would ever care to work.
I'm going to ask you one unique question just for you, because your dad's quite a character and I've known him for a while. What's the best piece of advice he gave you from one law enforcement official to another?
Well, there's a lot of, there's some we can say on camera, off camera, but he would always say, no matter what you do, it's important to keep the badge shiny and do what's right, and do what's right for the right reasons, because we can't get any tarnish on this badge. We must uphold ourselves to high standards and morals and ethics for the sake of the profession and the department.
Good words to live by, eh?
Absolutely.
Frank, it was a pleasure.
Carl, thanks. See you at the next one.